Aloha, it's 365Y.
With Eric and Julie Ziemelis, and behind us is Kailua Bay.
And today we've been off our video scheduling for a little while now because we've been traveling and I actually had COVID, but we'll get into that later. And so this video is more about what it's like to come back to Kona in general, and we thought we would go around different areas.
Yep. So one of the things that I came up with this idea is that I was flying back in, and the joke was that when I first got here, my first thought was, where are the palm trees? After being off island and coming back in, now I'm looking at the beauty of the lava flows. So the perspective that changes when you are away for a while, and sometimes even the things that you take for granted when you live here. So again, it's like, you guys, a lot of our friends say they put up this video on their big screen TVs and watch it on a Sunday. I thought, hey, take you around, see some beautiful things here in August in Kona, and also get a chance to talk to you guys a little bit about the things that you might miss when you're off island as well. About 10 days ago, I spent 5 days on Oahu, and I got a chance to see the most beautiful white sand beaches. And I was thinking, man, yeah, I wish we had that. But you know what I learned while I was traveling is that better is not the thing. It's just different, and it's different on our island. And what I'll say too, what I love about our island is the fact that because it's instantly deep out here, we've got that deep blue color, and also we don't have as many people. But I will say that one thing I did miss when I got home was being here in this very calm environment and seeing that beautiful blue. And another thing too, you don't see anything out here. If you don't see Maui, you go to the left-hand side, there is nothing out there. We're in Oahu, they have the different little islands. But again, different, better. This is just a beautiful place to be.
Okay, so for me, one of the first things you always notice when coming in is first, even on your approach down from the plane, you're kind of coming into the Kona airport, and all of a sudden you look down and there's all these streaks of lava coming in. So, and it's interesting because remember the first time we got here, we were surprised at how much lava was actually at the airport. You're thinking, how could this be a lush island with all this lava everywhere? That's the first thing that always hits you with coming in. And then the second is all of a sudden, as you know, you're coming off the plane, and then it is the rampway. You don't even have a jetway. I mean, how many airports don't have a jetway? Pretty rare. We did another video on the whole airport, which is kind of interesting if you gotta go take a look at some of our other stuff. But after you get off the jetway, you walk into unair-conditioned rooms. They're just kind of like lean-to, tops of roofs. So those are all three really cool things that you only get here when you get off the plane.
Listen to that? Yep, that's the sound of the ocean. So we were in Las Vegas for 5 days, and we were holed up in a conference, and in our room they had no windows. And one thing, when you get off the plane and you get out to the ocean again, it's like, oh my goodness, you just kind of forget how beautiful that sound is. And also, as it's crashing, you get the smell of the ocean in the air. And I know you don't have smell-o-vision for you guys, but you know what I'm talking about. So that is definitely the sound, and also the smell, and also what's also happening around me is the smell of plumeria. We asked a bunch of people on 365 Things to Do in Kona what they miss most about the island, and they always say the smell of the flowers. So get it all here right now.
Okay, and the one thing I'll add to what Julie was saying is also what's interesting is the fact that it's a consistent temperature here. I know some people say, oh my gosh, it gets so hot. But in general, it's not that bad. We were in Vegas, it went up to 110 at night and 110 during the day and 90 something. So the temperature fluctuation was all over. Here, you walk out, you're not terribly hot or cold most of the time.
Okay, so we thought that we'd do kind of like a walk and chat as we're walking through the Kona Inn right here. I will say that I missed a good Mai Tai while I was away, but I don't want Eric to make fun of me later for saying that. But that's what that place reminds me of, definitely.
Does. Yeah, we've been there a few times. Not too much lately, but man, back in the day, it was the great spot to go to.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking of back in the day, one of the things I wrote a post about too was the fact that people who live here for a length of time sometimes forget what it's like to actually jump in the ocean and go shopping and go for a drink and food downtown. And this, if you guys are watching this from home and you live here, wanted to remind you, one of the reasons you moved here was to enjoy what the tourists enjoy. And so let's not forget them, and let's not forget about our buddies down here Leahy Drive. They're still struggling to make it.
Yes, particularly here we are at the Kona Inn. There's been a bunch of shops that are vacant at this particular point, and that might have something to do with parking, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, we're not talking about parking because well, that's another video. But we're taking you through here so you can remember what this looks like, and also as an opportunity to remind you guys, we're going to be doing an update coming up here probably end of September, beginning of October, and we are now walking across the street from Uncle Billy's Kona Beach Hotel, and we're going to show you a little bit more of what's happening over there too. But also we were going to talk about the fact that Eric Ziemelis, you want to tell him a little bit what happened when you're sick and then you really miss everything outside?
Yeah, so I kind of have a funny story that I don't get off the island very often, maybe once or twice a year. And the last 2 years that I've gotten off the island in the summer, I caught COVID on the plane on the way back. And today was another one of those, well, not today, but this trip was another one of those crazy COVID things. And so I have been out for an entire week with, I guess they call it kind of a brain fog more than anything else.
Right, so the poor guy didn't get out of bed for 4 days. So he was definitely not realizing that he was missing all the things that Hawaii has to offer. But one of the first things he did when he got out of bed was say, I really want to go outside. So
and that's what kind of this is all about. This is my first day really back, is what it is. So it's nice. It's definitely nice to be back. It's always nice to hear the stereos on the street on the way down.
Yeah. Walking by Kai. Again, yum yum.
Yep. If you guys ever get a chance, Kai is always a good, reasonably priced, I should say, compared to everything else. And they do validate parking, so that's definitely good.
Yep,
They're right on the ocean, and
they have really great service too.
You know, you've been around a long time when you don't know it as Kai's, but you know it as the old Bubba Gump's restaurant.
Yeah. Every time we talk about this building, somebody's going to say, I think it was called the Jolly Roger back in the 80s. Everybody's got something.
Yeah.
So
date you how old you are.
it is impossible for me to miss an ABC store because I saw them all over Oahu and in Las Vegas. So no missing on the old ABC there. Hey, so you just saw that helicopter, right? Usually everyone around the coast knows that when you see that, they're usually looking for sharks. And speaking of sharks, I took a charter boat out a couple days ago with some friends, and we were coming out of the harbor, and there was a 13-foot tiger shark right there in the mouth of the harbor where people always say they see them. So it is true, and they actually closed Magic's a couple weeks ago, I think, because of a shark sighting. But, you know, they're just people too. So one of the things we love about Hawaii, of course, is the taste of Hawaii. We're going to get some beer and tacos right here next to Livingstone's church. I was hoping to be able to see the fruit stand usually is here. And I was going to show you guys some papayas and some mangoes, because that is what most people also say they love about this whole, this island. And being here in August, you guys, the mangoes and the papayas.
Okay, so it's great to be back here, but there are a couple of downfalls of being in Hawaii, and tomorrow I've got one of them. So I have been working outside for about, 7 or 10 years here in Hawaii that I've been managing a condo association. I spent a good deal of time outside. And during that time, I am a fair white guy, and I have developed a good, nice piece of skin cancer right there. So needless to say, I am off to the Mohs surgeon tomorrow to have it removed. I'm a little worried because it's kind of big. I hope I don't look kind of funny after doing that, where it kind of pulls on my face to cut that out. But this is a little word of warning for all you guys out there that think that, oh, nothing bad can ever happen in Hawaii. And I would say that skin cancer is probably one of the things that gets you. Okay, we're gonna get a little dip in there.
What do you think?
Oh, it's really good. They're beef, and they've been soaked in this I don't know, this sauce has been soaking in for a really long time, so it's got a really rich flavor to it.
The Poke Shack has a line out the door, and we are continuing our trek towards Magic's. Okay, we're at Magic's La'aloa Beach, and we're going to show you the beach. It looks like a little rocky, but you know how that goes with the seasonal waves. And also, I don't know if we've ever told you guys, but they actually opened up that parking lot over here finally. And as you might know, also the comfort stations are done. So if you haven't been here for a while, they also have made the garden area on the other side of that parking lot. They put interpretive signage around so you can see some ancient Hawaiian artifacts as well as some cultural knowledge, which is awesome. And just being here, you know, you gotta love a beach in Hawaii.
Okay, so one of the things that I definitely enjoy by being back is that there's kind of an ebb and a flow of clouds here in the day. In the morning, it was just sunnier than sunny. You were downtown, and now the clouds come over, and now it definitely has cooled down. I personally like the afternoon because it's not quite so harsh on your face as it is normally. But it was quite different than the mainland. The mainland, it either is raining or it is clear, and it just stays clear for days and days and days.
Okay, beyond taking time off and coming back, it goes back to when you live here as well. But I just have a question for all the people watching. When was the last time that you came to Magic's and just hung out? When was the last time that you came to Magic's and you got a chance to actually go swimming when the sun was setting? Yeah. So Eric and I used to come down here with the kids all the time, and all the years that we lived here, and we had small children. Then they grew up, and we stopped swimming at sunset. And I used to be in the water thinking it was the most magical thing I'd ever done in my life, doing my little happy dance out there in the water, saying, oh my God, we live in Hawaii. I can sit here in the nighttime in the water. We got to do that more often.
Yes, I hate to say it, but life tends to catch up with you, and that's kind of maybe a little bit what this video is about.
Are we getting old?
No. It's about the idea of learning to remember that there's a whole world out there besides your little
lanai.
Well, lanai, or little paths that you lose, or little things that you do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And to stretch it out and do some new things, and go to places you haven't been in a while, and do some things like that.
Yeah, and also we were talking today about gratitude, and you know, sometimes when we hear people say how expensive it is in Hawaii, and it is, there's still stuff that's free, like behind us once you get here.
Sitting in here.
Right, but you know, you challenge yourself a little bit to come out and enjoy the things while you came here to begin with, and being next to the ocean and walking on a white sand beach. Because I'll tell you guys, when this is all sucked out and that's all rocky and you're all crying because, oh, I can't get on the beach, it's all rocky. Or when you come here in December and January and the friggin' waves are insane, you can't get in the water. Or like in February and March when the water's really cold. August and September, the water is bath water. It is amazing right now. So again, intentionality, being in gratitude, loving this space that we call home, and we wanted just to make sure that, you know, we got a chance to share some of the beauty here.
Yeah, share with you, because I know a lot of you guys aren't in a position to be able to do that, and it's either mucky wildfires with the, the smoke
or
going off.
Or the hurricanes in Florida and along the eastern seaboard. Like Eric was saying, you know what, you know, the worst thing we have to worry about right now is if the sun's going to come over and block the sun to hit, you know, stop our suntan.
And again, I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
I know, perspective. Yeah. But also, hey, I wanted you guys to remind yourselves that we are putting out things to do in Hawaii Island on our events calendar, and we send that out monthly with our newsletter, which you can actually join at the 365hawaiiliving.com. You can join the Ohana. It's kind of for people who actually want to make it home here in Hawaii through buying real estate, but we also encourage you to send in your email address and we'll put you on that events calendar. And I told Eric maybe one thing we can also do to add to the YouTube channel is once a month read out what is coming up on the island so you guys can see the different things that are coming up.
We're going to help. A little live action calendar. So
And I know there's a lot of event organizers on the island that just don't have a way to get word out about their events because obviously, you know, we don't really have a TV show. And
no TV news.
Yeah, do TV news. But if that's something that's valuable and you guys want to see it, stay tuned and let us know. Also, if you do have something coming up in terms of an event on the island, go ahead again. Please email me. My email is down below in the description. Anything that we can do to help you guys. Also, I'm meeting with the parade committee to start the planning for the Christmas parade. We expect that to be quite the big deal. So if you're also looking for volunteers, we are also looking for volunteers. Also, the Ironman is coming up at the end of October, and we are also spearheading a group of people trying to put together the aid station for that. So reach out. And also don't forget that Eric and I, take care of people who are looking to buy and sell real estate. And it's always a pleasure to work with people that know us on this YouTube channel.
Yes, and with that, I forgot to tell them, our next video we're going to try is, there's a big deal, as you guys know if you've been here, about the parking issue. So we're going to kind of do a little video and see if we can dig in just a little deeper to see what's going on with it and give you guys a little idea on that. So that's coming up next. And then after that, it is the fall update of all the cool things that are
happening. New businesses.
Met a couple new businesses today that will be adding to that. So.
Right. And also, like I told you, I think before, we did speak to the councilwoman, Rebecca Villegas, about the parking issue. If you are a business owner that has been affected by the parking, she did ask me to put together people who have actual stories and receipts and stuff to show the impact. So again, you can email me that information, and we'll include you. And we are always just looking for ways to make sure that life, stays happy and fine here in Kona, and what we can do to help people just enjoy themselves here as residents and also visitors.
And with that,
we'll say aloha.
Aloha.